Annette Pasternak, the Stop Skin Picking Coach, and today I'm going to share with you 3 stories with lessons to help you stop picking. So the first story is about Catherine, and she was telling me how much she could not stand when she had a pimple on her forehead that was, there was pressure. It was probably like a cystic pimple, and she could not tolerate it, right? She had to pick. She said, if I have that, I have to pick it. And I said to her, you've had 2 children, right? Like, you've given birth before. How was that? And it was not pleasant. Of course, you have no choice. That's the thing. Once you're going through it, it's very painful, but you're going through it. You don't have any choice to like pick the baby out or anything. It's not that easy. But then I said to her also, I said, Catherine, when you remember, how did you hurt your foot? And she hurt her foot in a field. She was leading her horse through a field, and she turned her ankle or something like that. And she literally had to walk on a broken foot for like half a mile. And she did that. This is someone, or you would think this is not someone, who couldn't tolerate some pressure in her forehead, right? So, I told her, you have to remind yourself that you can take discomfort, you can tolerate pain. And now you have this incredible reference from your own life proving that you can. So you just need to remind yourself of it. And it's not like you can't relieve the discomfort as best you can in another way, So she can put ice on it, for example. That really relieves the pressure and the pain and takes away some of the urge to actually pick at it. At least it gives you time, to just experience the urge and experience it diminishing as well. I thought that was an interesting story. So what reference, thinking back in your own life, what reference do you have that you can tolerate discomfort and you can do hard things? And think of that, remind yourself of that in the times that you need to regarding your picking or pulling or other body-focused repetitive behaviors you might have. So here's something that happened yesterday. My client Laura was very excited I was going to share this. She said, share it with everybody, tell everyone, This is a story that illustrates, I think, so well, more than anything I've ever heard, that when we have strategies and tools to help us with our skin picking or hair pulling or whatever, we literally need to have them in every place that we need them. Like, you need duplicates. So for example, in your bed, in the living room, on your desk, in your car, wherever you may need a tool, whether it's a fidget or something to cover your fingers with or whatever, you literally need it everywhere. And so Laura, I thought it was so funny, I was explaining this to her and she said, yes, she had a fidget in her car, but it was to her right, in the, I don't know what you call that. It was to the right of her, but she always needed, she was someone who wanted to keep her right hand on, and she would pick with her left hand. And it literally was too far for her to reach over with her left hand. Okay, so she found that only when she moved this thing into maybe the cup holder or something to her left side was it close enough for her to actually be using it. Okay, be careful when you're driving, obviously, if you're holding on to something else. But I thought that was a really great story. So the lesson here again is you need to have things exactly where you need them, or else it'll be too hard. right? So we want to make the picking as hard as possible, or the pulling or other behaviors, and we want to make the replacement behaviors as easy as possible to do. Okay, so convenience is everything. If you're enjoying these stories so far, finding them helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. And also please share in the comments if you've got any stories you'd like to share. Also, please share if you'd like me to do a story time again. I will keep my eye open for good stories that illustrate helpful things for us to help stop these behaviors. Okay, the third story is one about a woman. I don't even remember her name. I talk about her. I think this is a great story. I tell probably all of my clients this story, or almost all of them, because it really illustrates one of the most important lessons. So this is going back to the time when I was a client or patient or whatever in the OCD Center for Los Angeles group therapy for skin picking and hair pulling. And I had been there maybe about a month or so. And then this other woman came in, she joined the group, and she literally, I had sores showing all over. And I was thinking like, wow, how is she going to get better? She was like so much worse off than me. And I couldn't imagine how she's going to get better. So I think the very next week she came into the group and she had gloves on. She had those, they were like the exfoliating shower gloves. So kind of funny, but she didn't care. None of us, the rest of us, like I was wearing gloves or bandages over my fingers at home, but just in certain situations. But she was literally, gloves on all the time. I saw her after the group. I saw her outside walking down Wilshire Boulevard, like very, busy street in Los Angeles. Not a lot of pedestrians, but, people, cars passing by. And she had their gloves on still. And so she would come to the meetings each week with her gloves, maybe like 3 or 4 times. And a month later, she came in without the gloves and she said, I'm all better. I'm not doing this anymore. And the reason for that is that she was so consistent with these. And when you're wearing something on your fingertips and you touch your skin, you're not getting any feedback. And so your brain kind of lets go. It's like, oh, that's not interesting. There's nothing there. And so you stop doing the behavior. And so it's really because she just like wore these things all the time, consistently, that, it actually worked very quickly for her. And she was better, faster than me. And she was out of the group in the, it was like a minimum 3 months. And I was in the group before her and I stayed after her for a little while longer, but she was good. So, yeah, little does she know, I think, like I tell this story, I mean, I probably told it hundreds of times so far, and now telling it on video. So yeah, I think she'd be okay with it, hopefully. And if she does happen to see this video, it's that she might need to be reminded of what worked for her in the past. So anyways, if you like stories, you'll love this book, Skin Picking the Freedom We Found. This is my new book. It's kind of a sequel to the best-selling and highest rated book on skin picking, the Freedom We Found. Skin Picking the Freedom to Finally Stop. And this new one, I keep forgetting to promote it, and not that many people have seen it or bought it yet. So, but I think it's got the whole premise of it is that it's teaching you through stories. So I hope you get it, and I hope you like it. I'll definitely link it in the YouTube description below. If you like this, I mean, 2 of the 3 stories really just came to me recently. So I know there are stories that, come from my work that I literally forget all the time. And so I think I'm going to continue. If you guys want it, if you give a thumbs up, give a comment that you want more of these stories, I will, when it happens, I'll ask my client, hey, can I share this? And I'll share it with you all. Well, thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.